Hello, everybody. I just wanted to make a very mini non-dual astrology forecast because we're in the middle of technical issues, computer issues here in point zero in Mexico. And I'm going to have to delay things a little bit, but I just wanted to speak to that so that at least I put something out if the computer permits. And I feel that it's really important sometimes for us to look also at Western astrology. And last weekend, I'm making this just at the end of January. I think it's the 25th today, and we've had a very major transit change. So Pluto is now in Aquarius in Western astrology, and this means that a whole new bunch of karmic conditions are being laid out for us. And a lot of people are mentioning that they're feeling very agitated, stressed. It's like almost like Mercury retrograde, but with another added clunkiness. And I'm certainly experiencing this. I'm very glad to have meditation practice. And even that is not sometimes cutting it. So I just wanted to speak to that if you're feeling that right now. And just to say that February is, there's a lot of birthing energy coming through. We have the new year in the traditional Mayan calendar coming in. We also have Jupiter coming into Bhairani, the star of restraint. And so I wanted to speak on this Jupiterian energy that's changing as well, because we have this fast moving energy that we can utilize, even though it's a bit stressing. That's what I wanted to speak to. It's like, how do we make Tantra with this energy at the moment? Jupiter is finishing its time in Ashwini, and the Ashwini twins are the beginning of the zodiac and super speedy, a little bit expedient sometimes. And I feel like the last bit of that medicine is coming upon us. We then come into this birthing energy when Jupiter comes into Bhairani this month, February. And it is also known as the star of restraint. So it's about how you hold space. Sometimes people give the analogy of if you have a naughty kid, how do you restrain yourself from not chastising them or giving them a little tap or whatever it may be. So basically, I feel like we're coming into this cross section of these energies. And so our restraint energy is starting to kick in, but then this fast moving energy is coming in and it's ricocheting off things. And I just really want to say that you may find that you get quite a lot done actually, because there's a lot of agitation energy. And if you use it wisely, you can actually get quite a lot of things done. But it's also important to say what's not working, what's in a rejig. I'm looking at my own situation, and I feel that, for instance, my computer needs an upgrade and a rehaul, and I'm in the middle of writing a book and teaching, and I'm really busy right now. But I had to do it sometime, and I feel that this agitation energy that's creating lots of curveballs is actually going to save me time in the future. So if you can look at it as a glass half full situation, where actually we're going to something's coming up now that's going to need resolved, so I need to deal with it now. And chaotic as it may seem, deal with it. And one other observation is that, and I feel this is the Aquarian energy plus Pluto, neither of them are great team players. Aquarius is all about new societies and new communities, but there's almost like a challenge on the interpersonal that's playing out. And I really see how few people actually have lived in community or know how to communicate as a team. And I know that I'm not the only one witnessing this at the moment. There are lots of skewed communications and things not being repeated to the right person, causing everything to take longer than it should. And we're seeing this from several terrains as well. So I feel that a really good antidote is to find your Sangha and to start to try to think about, how do I communicate better in the team? How do I make sure that everybody has the information that they need? And certainly within our own projects, we're deciding to create more teamwork for people, for students, because it's quite a big deficit in a very individualized world, that if we want to solve problems, we need to be able to do it together. But a lot of people have never been in a workplace or family or whatever that nurtures that. And we also, for people who are working metaphysically or in an awakening process, there's often this lone wolf thing. There's a a cunning nature to the universe, and how when we're in the beginning of our journey, it puts us all very far apart. Okay, so you feel like the only weirdo on the block. And I think that we're being asked to start to investigate that and to look at, where is my hermit? Where is my lone wolf? And where do I preserve my lone wolf? Because a lot of us need that. We're energy sensitive. We can't be in the middle of everything all the time. So where do I sustain my lone wolf? Where's my lone wolf useful? But where do I also need to become a better communicator and a better team player? And hopefully that will help you to meditate on what's coming forth, because we are being asked to form new communities, but actually these Achilles heels of not passing on messages. This is what happens all the time. And I see this in retreat settings. I see this in so many projects that people often don't think this would be useful for me to tell the next person. And this is something we have to cultivate. It's often like people it stops at them. And this creates so much extra work. And then having to redo things and no triangulation of information. And I guess that's one reason why I love doing non-dual astrology, because it's a triangulated system and it's communicating with the other aspects of the other astrologies. So those are my little pondering thoughts for now, ahead of hopefully solving my issues and getting my proper presentation and transmission out to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for listening. Wishing you a good end of January and a good beginning of February. Ciao, ciao, everybody. Gracias.